Welcome to the Grand Design series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 23rd of April 1991, which is, I think, around a year on from the end of the last part. Now, there's two reasons why we are a year on. The first one, it was down to the fact that I did record a part, and that's why the release schedule skipped today. But what actually happened was there was a Windows update that came in and it knocked out my microphone settings on the recording software, so it meant that I had a complete part with no commentary, and I could have redone it, but it was mainly the focus of that video was on logistics and setting up our new town and our vehicle production area, which I'll go into in a little bit more detail later on. But the other reason why is that after I finished that video, I think I finished it in about October 1990, I spent about 3 hours of gameplay with the game on pause a lot, because what I wanted to do off camera was to follow on from that video to actually sort out my logistics to do with meat, food and alcohol, because I knew I could be completely self-sufficient in all three, but I had a number of leaks, not massive leaks, but at this level of the game, especially with respect to meat and alcohol, although food wasn't far behind, which was costing me, you can say, several 100,000 rubles a month. So what I had to do off camera was hunt down the sources of the leaks. Now, the meat was relatively easy because I traced that down to a prison over here. I think it was this prison, because I use manual trucks to bring the meat into here. You can see you've got the little truck there, and the problem was that these trucks were going to the customs post to import meat, almost as a legacy, because I think this was the first major prison that I actually built, so there was a legacy from that. The food was relatively easy as well, although it took a bit of patience going through, because I knew I wasn't importing any food manually, but I knew that there was somewhere in the game was a distribution office which was still importing from the border. So of course the likely candidates were up here where it was, and also down where the buildings were there, and eventually I traced it to this corner market here. So like this one's out of electronics, but there's a reason possibly why that's out of electronics. But again, I'll talk about that in a little while. So the food was there. Now the alcohol was an absolute nightmare, and one of the consequences of that, if I actually go to here and list the buildings for the entire map and list the distribution offices, I don't know if you guys can actually see it, but if you look in this distribution offices, you will see that there's one or two that have got no vehicles left in anymore. In fact, it's one just here which I need to rename. And what I've done is I've actually renamed these ones. I haven't deleted them because it's just too much hassle. Oops, empty. And what I've done is named a lot of these like that. I mean, I haven't renamed all of them. There's still a few medium distribution offices, but that took a lot of time and patience. And this is one of the problems, especially if you got tangled logistics. And that was the focus of the previous video, was untangling the logistics. And the actual problem was right down here, in the sense that it was a single pub down in this area. I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. And what was happening is for some reason, but maybe when the town was first built, I set a manual import route up from here. And it took a long time to disentangle here. What have we got here? Oh, this guy's on the way to the dump. I've got a problem with repairs, which I'll talk about So I was just, after all the time I spent doing that, I just, to be honest, I wasn't all that inclined to kind of redo the video. So that's the reason why we're a year on. Now, also the game is on pause for a reason which is pretty important actually. And if I come all the way up here and find this office here, and I think it's the third, what you'll see here. Now, if you watch the previous video that I actually released, I set up a transfer office. Might as well explain the whole process. I've got a transfer office here. Now, this is a mod, so if I can find it. God, this map's getting so big. I've got a transfer office here, and you can see what I've got in here is mixed waste, construction waste, metal scrap, and hazardous waste. Now, and I'm aware that you can't see the total on here, but this train has got 81 tons of hazardous waste in. And what this actually got is, if I come over to the actual distribution office, the pickup criteria is 20%. And what's happened was, now this is the first load that I've actually ran out of here since setting up this whole process. So you can say that this is taking a year to accumulate 81 tons of hazardous waste, although that's probably going to increase now that I've got some more production going. Now the down, and if you actually look at 81 tons and compare it with, if I move this out the way, if I put this up here, you can see that the total capacity of this is 390 tons. Now 81 tons is approximately 21% of this capacity. So the fact I've set this distribution office to 20%, the game waits so there's 20% of goods into here before moving on. So on the surface that works. The downside, and I think this is something that Vimes was talking about, in the fact that this train has sent out 6 wagons. Now the capacity of each of these wagons is, I can't remember now, I think it's 40 tons. Let me, again, apologies for leaping all over the map. If I can find the, I've used them all up. Okay, I'm pretty sure it is 40 tons of there. So effectively all I've done is build up 2 wagons and the game sent out 7. So the transfers, now I know I've had this problem with respect to the game before, and that is, so it looks like I've got a bit of a problem here with respect to that, but at the moment it's still working. What I might have to do is add some more, get some more wagons. I've only got 11 out here at the moment. Maybe we'll have to get some more wagons out here, but that is another potential issue, in the sense that one of the problems that's holding me up at the moment is, and also with respect to the logistics, is actually trying to, how can you put it, is actually trying to get all the wagons into the right places. Here we got one here. This will tell us what we can carry. Yeah, it's actually 60 tons per wagon. So you can see here at the moment this has got capacity of 60 tons. Yeah, so you can see that long train has got there. I suspect that what happens is that the game gets a little bit confused over the storage in here. So at the moment, subject to further proof, my recommendation is that if you're moving large amounts of waste, like mixed waste or construction waste, I wouldn't probably recommend using a transfer office. The setup that I would do, and I know I've mentioned this before, would be something more akin to this, where what you've got is a mixed waste pickup point here, and then you actually use the aggregate stores to be able to get what's going on here. After a little while, I've finally got where I'm going, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let the game run slowly, and I'm just going to give you a bit of an update of where we are. Now, as I said, I did a lot of work on the logistics, but probably the biggest feature, which you probably got a brief glimpse at, is, if I can find it, it's a big feature but I can't find it, is that what I've done is I've started building a road right across the map, and it's an asphalt road. You can see I've built the bridge there. This road comes here, and then basically the road is planned to go all the way up to here, and it comes in here. And what I've got is the road crew from here is building this way in. You can see it needs vast amounts of gravel and asphalt because the stretches are deliberately as long as possible. Now, the purpose of this road is not so much for transportation, because it takes trains long enough to get out of here 160 kilometers an hour. A road like this is not going to be practical. The main reason for this road is to provide a link between the two areas for scrapping purposes, because vehicles that need to be scrapped can take a very long time to get down to here. Now, the big changes in the last part was up here. We've now got this area still functioning, or it is up and functioning now, but you can see it's not complete. So at the moment I've got some waste resources in this area, and I've had to kind of botch it through a bit using trucks. And you can see we got the trucks here going to move chemicals. I've got one of these operational. At the moment I've got a bit of a problem with workforce, but at the moment this is providing enough to be going on with. I shifted the train that imported the chemicals, because we're now producing chemicals over there, to bring in crops. But at the moment I don't know what I want to do with those crops. So at the moment I've got a silo full of crops here, and then in a similar vein down here I've also got we've got tankers coming into here, and I've also got I think there's I can't remember if I've actually set it up yet. No, but we are looking at potentially importing crops into here. I'm sure I bought some crops, or was the track. Okay, I can't remember if I've done it now or whether I intended to do it. Anyway, so this area now is operational to a certain degree. We've still got to build these two up here at the moment. These are very low priority at the moment. Our vehicle production area here, you can see, is really coming together, but the real lag at the moment is up here with respect to populating the town. This is where I want to focus on in this part. But the problem I've got is getting the wagons and stuff out here to do the logistics. And to give you an idea of what I did in the last part, what I've got now is I've got a mech distribution warehouse here. This is moving the mechanical components around. This one is I've called chemical distribution. But the big problem I've got at the moment is I've got a repair problem here, in the sense that if I can find, well, if I look at the repair building, which is up here, what you will see is I've got whole loads of vehicles here that are falling apart because they haven't been maintained. But what I've got is a couple of buses. And what I want to do is we're going to temporarily set you up to come here, because I really do need to get this operational. Now I will set this up better later on, but at the moment this is more a little bit of a botch job, because I do need to get workers. Okay, put the line spacing on. because at the moment this area is at risk, and you can see at the moment I'm still stuck just under 100,000, because getting the population over 100,000 has been a real pain in the neck, simply because the game is very resistant at the moment. And I think it's partly down to the fact that despite I've got high happiness, the population isn't growing. At the moment I've got 2,869, but I don't want to boost the population just yet. But what I need to do is get this in here, get this working, and then what we can do is repair these trucks. You can see a lot of them are going to need a lot of serious repair. Now, while that's going on, let me just see. Yeah, it's everything's got a little bit messy. I think part of the problem is that I was a bit more too optimistic with respect to this area here. Now, what I do want to do is, where's the M guys? Where are you picking up from? Okay, you're picking up from there. Now, one thing I've got to be is very careful that I don't overload my... Okay, I think we've got plenty of chemicals. So what I want you to do now, and this is the reason why I spent so much time working on logistics in the last part, because what I want to do is, well, we need to work out where we're storing chemicals. Okay, we've got chemicals there. We don't need that much in the way of chemicals here, simply down to the fact that if I put it at 50%, all we need here is to shift the chemicals to our water plant here. A broken vehicle, yeah. That vehicle's been working its way across the map for, well, nearly a year. But I think these guys are the ones that are just coming in here. Yeah. What I want you to do is pick up the chemicals from there and drop them into here. Let's get this set up. So we've now got that going. This one over here is actually going to collect the food and the alcohol and the clothes. Because what I've decided is the policy is that I want to use dedicate for the key essentials. I need to set up the get things done from a single location. And down here we need to pick up the meat from there, the food from here, and what I've done over here is, if you've been following the series, you'll be aware that I was producing food here. What I've done is I've now knocked that down, and I did this kind of after the part that I actually published. I've knocked this down and we're now producing alcohol. And what I will probably do eventually is knock down one of these, because I think if with a bit of planning I could probably get a distillery in here away from the town. And what I'm going to do is make this into an alcohol production center. What we're going to do is, I've got food, basically I've got food here, over the meat, food, alcohol from here, and then now this is where things get a little bit messy, because at the moment that train is going to have to come all the way over to Clotherton. I think we've still got plenty of clothes, so, and you're going to pick up clothes, and then just going to keep the game on pause. Go back over to here. Let me just check this. What's the settings here? We got 89. Let's just sort this out. We're going to need electronics. Electronics is going to be, we might need plastics and stuff in here. Okay, all right, we're going to reduce the clothes down to, because what we're going to have to actually, let me just think about this. we're going to have to put you into there. We're going to have to unload meat, electronics, clothes, food, and alcohol. We'll set that at 50%. 50% food. The alcohol's probably 12% will do. 32 tons of clothes will probably do work. And we're going to need probably about 26 tons of electronics. Now, the electronics at the moment is a little bit messy because I haven't done the connection. But what I have got is, I'm doing at the moment is, I've got some electronics here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the electronics from here. Now, what I've done here is and this is the reason why this small shop here has got no electronics at the moment, is I've put the electronics at the moment on local distribution. I'm going to just let the game run. So basically all the electronics in here are for dispersal across the map. Actually, I just had another thought actually. Let me just check. Maybe that's a little bit too far, because we got a second option over here actually. Maybe this would be a little bit more reliable. Yeah, we got 113 tons of electronics in here, so yeah, maybe that was a bit of a mistake. This is the problem with electronics. Not electronics, with the setting up the logistics on a large scale map. Yeah, I think what we'll do is, we might mess this up a little bit, but I think what we'll do is we'll actually pick up the electronics from here. Yeah, I think that's tidier. Now, eventually what I want to do is just let the game run. Eventually what I want to do, and this is quite a bit of a step forward, is I've started working on this parallel line, and for things like electronics, electro components and stuff like that, we're going to try and build a logistics center here. Anyway, let's just see if, okay, so we're now repairing these, which is going to get our, because what was happening is our waste was piling up here. So we've got this area here is now starting to get a little bit tidier and a little bit more under control. Now, of course, it's going to take a little while to get everything out here. So I'm not exactly sure. The other thing we're going to need is, I'm going to need a small bus station as well, come to think of it, because we've got to send workers out to there. I think because we've only got residencies on this corner, what we'll do is we'll put a small bus stop just here. Put you there. I think what I will do is I need to try and save some time, and the game is struggling a little bit with respect to road building. I think that area's there. I've got to watch one of my, we need that built, and of course this is, and what I've actually done is I've already brought the trucks out here, ready to set up that heating plant. I just forgot where the bus stop was. Now, the other thing I want to show you is, which is becoming a little bit of a headache, headaches everywhere, especially the game here, is that if I come over to here, if we come into here, what you see I've got at the moment is a bit of a problem with my helicopters. They're all over here, and the problem here is that this actual repair bay isn't big enough, because it's only got 2 trucks in it and 15 workers. And the problem is at the moment is that to repair these helicopters over here, we've got to send out the container trucks. So this one is currently just arrived here by the look of it, and it's now started repairing these helicopters. So I'm probably going to need a bigger repair bay, but at the moment, and I think this is one of the problems at the moment, is the sheer amount of things that are going on, and trying to disentangle it is pretty well, it's interesting, put it that way. Anyway, so and it's just trying to keep track of what is going on in realistic mode. Yeah, while we're here, I just want to check something else, because what I actually found out, let me just see, and yeah, we've now got space that's now been released. What I found out is that if you're importing cargo wagons, you're far better off importing from a larger customs shed than the smaller one. The reason for that is that the train that picks up from here will pick up 3 wagons, where the one that if you send it to, which is what I've been predominantly using recently, if you come to this one, it will only bring in 1. And what I was doing at one point is I've got 2 trains running around here, but the trouble is I don't know where those trains are. What I do need to do is find it. I think the guy was delivering to here. How many wagons have I got here? I've got 11. Yeah, this is the train that's related lines. Okay, no. Why is that indicating that you are picking up meat? You shouldn't have any wagons. I think the game is just being a little bit spurious. Okay, he's now come that way. Now we've got 11 wagons there. And what I've got to do now, I want more. Oh, let me just see. I need more, what we call it, these mech components. So I need to change this route to there, and just going to remove you. I want to rename you, a capital T in, because I need that to indicate that that's there. And what I want to do is put it this way. I'm getting to the point now that I normally write notes at the end of a video about what I've done and what I need to do in the next part, but I'm getting to the point now where I'll probably have to write a whole book. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what I'm doing is buying these in blocks of 3. That means that will be 3 round trips to here. Now 9 wagons may seem a little bit over the top, but remember this mechanical thingy, whoops, gone the wrong way. This rail construction distribution offices is going to be moving mech components which are produced here all around the map, so it's going to be very, very busy. Another one that's getting a bit busy as well is this one. It probably could do another train in here as well. I am kind of pushing the price, the 160. Just going to build this one in here. The reason for that is that this one's a bit busy at the moment, and you can see that these steel mills are working harder. The reason for that is that I've now started to deliver the steel to, what you see here is this train is now delivering steel into these manufacturing buildings. We're going to also deliver steel into here. Just want to check, 146 tons. and eventually we will deliver steel into here. We probably don't need that much, but I'll adjust that. And of course see, this is the contrast between the different trains, in the sense that this one is going to a normal claw dump, and this has got 5 wagons and it's carrying 300 tons of mixed waste. These guys are starting to move. You see, I've got a bit of a backlog here, which is not helping. There's a bit of an inconsistency here. Now let me just check. I think what I will do is drop a... Yeah, all I've got left here you can see how busy this line is. Oh, the other thing I've also got in here is this guy. He is... The oil tanker's just arrived here. And what I'm doing now is I'm importing the fuel here. Yeah, you've got to be very vigilant with respect to these here. So these guys are... don't understand why... Now the signaling here is a little bit sketchy, because at the moment this is still yet to be finished. I don't understand why these guys would have a problem. I think it's probably down to the fact of this junction, which is a bit too complicated. What is this? This is the guy... Yeah, he's bringing in the meat. Now, this is an example of the setup I was talking at the beginning, although we've got no power supply in here yet, so we're going to have to think about that. I think I've still got a power supply problem here, actually, come to think of it, because I had to build this out. Let me just check this. So many things to think about. Let me just see. Show overlays. Oh, we've got power in here. If we starting to get... Okay, we've got food and alcohol. These guys now... You need to pick up from here. Thank you, game. Food, clothes, meat. You don't need... Oh, you can pick up the alcohol as well. And you are... This is where we got to be a bit careful, because I don't want... Right, we're going to get rid of the clothes, the alcohol, the food. Where's the food? Okay, food 0, clothes is 0. Electronics needs to be 0 as well, and the alcohol needs to be 0 as well. Good. And then you're going to deliver meat here. We're going to set this to about 30% at the moment. That's probably going to be more than enough. Then we're going to set this, oops, to there, and you are going to deliver electronics, food and clothes. At the moment, okay, we've got 18 tons of clothes. 18. We'll probably push the food up. And we got 12 tons of electronics. We'll probably reduce. No, we'll keep the electronics at 12% as well. And then what we got over here is the alcohol. Set that at 50%. The next thing I need to do is set the fuel deliveries 30%. The moment we haven't built the secret police, so we can't do anything there. I mean, everything else is here. Now, this is going to complain that it's overloaded. So we probably need a dispersal. We'll probably... where's the power lines? Oh, I've got to send the power line down here. We've got a mega power line down to here. Let me just see. Let me just see here. I don't think I've got... Let's see where all the power lines go. We've got power connection to there. I've doubled up the power line here. Some of the power lines go back that way. I think what I will do, we've got one more connection here. I don't think I've got any power lines in this area. We're going to need to put a power line down here to run this. You can see we've got a lot of stuff to still build in. I think what we'll do is we'll put a... Because this, actually, if I put you about there. Actually, we could put it... Does that... Will that... It'd be really great if I could put another substation in about there. Can't build it that way. Yeah, I think if I put you there... What I do need to do is make up some of these. I'm going to use mud roads simply for the speed of it. Oh, you've got a connection there, so that's good. You need a connection there. Actually, we probably won't need to build these, so... the problem we've got is we've got all these very short lengths. And we're going to need a road crew out here. That one can be built, that one can be built. This one, we may need to bring a road crew out to try and do the basics. Is this the one? There it is here. And I think just to be tidy, I know it won't carry... I don't know, we could possibly... I don't think we're going to get much space here, so we're going to... I think we're around the back of the church here. Okay, it's not going to go around the back of the church. I don't care. I may have to rework that later on. Okay, Steelton, you can... That can go there. Oh, I'm going to bump the priority on that. Right. Yeah, we got, look at that, we got 4 construction cranes working on that. I think this is the police station. This is the secret police. We need some ambulances in here. Actually, we'll reduce the workforce down. What I want to do to begin with is just get enough in here. 2, 3, 4. Get 4 ambulances in there. Epidemic report. Oh, that reminds me. How are we doing for over 21s? We've still got. Let me just come here. I just want to check. Okay, so we've still got this functioning. Right. I just want to check my trains. I think what I'm going to do is to finish off this area. We're going to use the trains from Stilton. Yeah, you've run out of work. It's these fiddly bits which are the biggest pain of all, to be honest, because you've got these little sections here. It's the same problem I've got up here. Okay, we need that built and that built, so we're probably going to get collisions. I've got a similar problem up here with respect to, we got here, yeah, we got some unemployment, we got 4 citizens without electronics. And this is another downside of having, where is local electronics? Yep. When you fiddle around with the where's your source? Where's the source? Actually helps if it's on the right one, actually. Haha. Wait. Yeah. Well, that was a deliberate mistake in the sense that I accidentally got a load of electronics into here, and I wanted to use them up. So yeah. Okay. Just gonna get rid of you now. Don't need you. Yeah, what happened was the fork trucks here were putting the electronics into here. So these guys. Now, of course, once all the track's been laid, we can kind of make things a little bit more efficient. Let me just check here. Okay, you're down to 2 tracks which are still being laid here. These guys are really slow at the moment. The other problem I've got at the moment is over here, in the sense that we're still trying to finish off that, and also let me just see. I would like to do this back curve here, like this. What I've put in here, this is an addition which I made in the part that I didn't release, is this is the beginning of my, how can you put it, my vehicle distribution. And so what I've been doing is I built this for major movement of vehicles, but the other thing I've also started doing is, if I come down to here, is building these. The reason I'm building these is simply down to the fact that okay, that's actually been built really quickly. I wonder if I could sneak in, because we're not ready yet anyway. So if I could get that built as a matter of high priority. The trouble is part of my helicopter fleet at the moment over here is crippled because of the maintenance issue. And of course, part of the reason for this, you can see here, is the fact that, well, how bad's the you're 60%. I'm just wondering whether it might be more effective just to sell some of these, because I think the problem is that I bought them all at the same time, and this is a risk that you can do. Yeah, you can see here this is a bit blocked, and it's also going to affect my, see, these trucks here, I've just got to keep going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. We will get rid of these mud roads as well. Tidy this up a bit as well. Yeah, I think we're just tidy this up. My road crews are committed otherwise, so, and this isn't really substantially degrading what goes on here, so yeah, we got 628 people can't get electronics, but we can fix that. I'm kind of thinking, I mean, we got nearly 4 billion, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to scrap one of these. Euro Transport MI6, M16, and we're going to buy a new one. This is the MI10. Got an MI26 here. This is 21 tons. This came in 1980. Is that? What's your top speed? 305. This is slightly slower, but it carries more. I don't think I really need that. Let me just see what the replacement for helicopters is. Yeah, we're using MI10 cargo for the moment. So we're going to buy one of those, send that in as a replacement. I know it's expensive, but what that might do is, yeah, let's reduce this down a little bit. Is there another one here that, this one's 60% as well. So, because I don't think, just get rid of 2 of these. Buy another. What that might do, I think what I might need to do is, we've got these guys here. You cover, but you've got, okay, this guy's got missing steel. Who delivers to here? Because I think if I can get this operational, yeah, steel transfer, where are you? I think if I can get, why are you not got no steel? Okay, we got. Where are you picking up from? Oh, you're just picking up the reserve still. That's a waste of time. Right, I need to get this operational. Anything else? Anyone else delivering steel here? That's steel transfer. I think it's repair control, isn't it? Okay, where are you getting your steel from? Nowhere. Okay, you get. Why are you not? You've got a setting to deliver still, but I think I've made a mistake here. This is one of the hazards of doing it. Yeah, I think this is one of the hazards of messing about. Yeah, I think when I was fixing this, okay, back to repair control. You open hole. Do another. Now, what I do need to do is find some aluminium. Let me just see. We may have to import the aluminium. Resources, aluminium. Do I have any aluminium here? Again, when you're actually doing this, you increasingly no, we're not gonna have to. We're gonna have to import some aluminium. I think if we can get steel and aluminium into here, this is a bit of a mistake. We might get some additional. Oops. One thing we do need to do is sell that one there. Yep. Yeah, we get some steel and aluminium in, and what that might do is actually help with the repairs in this area. Yep. We just need. Where are you going? Okay. You're out of aluminium as well. Okay, I think I'm just going to have to pay the money to get this kind of operational. Who delivers your aluminium? Okay, train repair. Who delivers the aluminium? Where are you getting aluminium from? I think right, Ollerton repair station. You're there. Okay. Well, I think part of the problem is that this is being you're okay. You're off to do that. Okay, we've got a large repair there, but that's no good. Let me just see if I can find. Aluminium. You're there. Again, I think we're going to have to import the aluminium. I think this gives more emphasis to... Okay. What on earth is this? Oh, this is the guy importing the crops. This is from Huckabee grain storage. Right. Right, I'm running out of time on this video, but there's one thing I do want to do, which is we're going to have to... We got you there, filling that up. I must admit, I actually thought that I had a... Right, what we need is a great big ship which we can fill up with crops. So that's 136 ton. We need something. Search by capacity. 49,000 tons. I don't really want that. 19,000 tons. This is 10,000 tons. It's 179 million. Wow. I think we're gonna, what's the top speed for you? Okay. This is 10,000. It's got that's 17. Let's just sort by speed. That's 1,400 tons. This is cargo ships only. That kind of sorts it out a little bit better. That's 2,800. That travels at 9 knots, 20,000. Container services, garbage freighter. That's 1,400 tons. This is 2,800. It travels at 14 knots. Let me just see. This is 2,856. I thought I saw something a little bit bigger than that. That's capacity. Okay, maybe we're just going to have to go with the 10,000 one at the 179. This is 10,000 tons, so we're going to buy you. That's going to hurt my budget, but just to show you the budget last month, I mean, we're making about 38 million a thing, so we can afford it. And I think just to finish off, because obviously we got a little few things to do, I'm going to do the usual building check. Entire map, show wear and tear. The wear and tear is good. Entire map, wear and tear. You've got an open hole at 74%. You're in here. It's this one here. Right, I think you... What are you? You're an open hole. I think we're going to get rid of you. Help you on your way. Because you're just trash. And we'll get back to here. And we're... Buy an open hole. Go for the standard. So how much? Okay, you're at 59%. See, part of the wear and tear is down to the fact that my repair station here is overloaded. Okay, right, let's just check again. wear and tear. We got a dump truck at 65%. That's okay. Entire map. Okay, the trains are good at the moment. And of course, my ships are virtually negligible. And helicopters. I think the helicopters are a little bit more under control, but they're still a little bit over the top. So we may have to actually want to work with that. Right, just to do a final check up here. See. Okay, you've got nothing else to repair, so that's good. We are starting to get in food, clothes. Electronics is still a little bit of an issue. Let me just check my food supplies. Oh, these guys are saying that they're happy. Do we have electronics in here? Yeah, we've got electronics in here. Why aren't you delivering them? Needs to be at the cold store. I'm not exactly sure why we're storing chemicals there. Okay, so we need the meat in there, and also I did click the electronics there. Right, you've got to deliver the meat to the cold store, and we've got the electronics there. So it means that we've got alcohol in the pub, and that will put us in a position so that we can actually populate this town, or start to populate this town in the next part. We've obviously got, I think I just want to check here. We've got a crop pickup here. One thing I want to do is add this to the crop delivery, because we're going to have to bring the crops into here, because this is where we're going to make clothes. Oops, thank you, game. What are we going to get? About 200, 300 tons of crop. Just going to actually, let's do it the quick way. Clear all settings, and we'll set this to 80, and for the moment we'll set you to 80/20. That gives 416 tons. So we'll start by shipping the crops to here. And as far as I know, all the track here. Okay, this guy is stuck. I'm not exactly sure why he's stuck. Again, oh, I think it's because this bit of track here is... I'll be completely upfront. This has been a real pain in the neck trying to get this sorted out. Anyway, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.